Hello guys, sorry for the delay in this video. I was on a stag do at the weekend in Bristol, didn't see most of the United game live, went into a pub shortly before Granit Xhaka scored, celebrated wildly, and then went back to the party. So watched it in full on Sunday night, thoroughly enjoyed it, especially with the comfort of knowing how it turned out. I think it was probably a lot less stressful experience. I've spoken about the game on Arscast Extra. You can get that in all your podcast places, but I guess I'll just I'll say a few different things. Maybe I'll run through the team actually and say what I thought player by player. That's sometimes a fun way to do it, rather than sort of break down incident by incident. I'll start with the goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Quite heavily criticised, I thought, after the game, and I have to be honest, I thought that was a little bit harsh. I think his form has dipped, definitely. I think his shot stopping is not at the kind of remarkable level it was in the first half of the season, and there's been a few goals of late that I think he'd want to do better with. Chelsea, for example, that Werner shot, yes, it deflected. I still think he'll feel he could have saved that. Obviously, Jota was one. A couple of others that you've thought, ooh, maybe. But I thought he made a really important save in this game from Dalot, that near post hand, very strong. And at 2-1, at that point of the game with United on top, I think that's a critical moment. I know he played a pass straight at McTominay, which I'm sure none of you were thrilled about when it happened in the moment. But I have to say, for a goalkeeper who does take risky decisions on the ball, I can't remember that happening many times. And I think if, as a goalkeeper, you're going to try and play through the lines, at some point in a season, you're going to get caught. And he got caught there, but we got away with it. And when the ball came back to him 2 minutes later, he tried it again and played it into Odegaard, and this time was successful. So, you know, I understand there are nerves, and I understand there's a kind of fear that our backline looks a bit jittery, but I think he fared better against United than some of the commentary suggested. Moving on to the defence. We'll start with the right back because the left back's going to need his own video. I thought Cedric was okay, you know. I know he should have given away a penalty for a handball, definitely. And he was given a hard time by Sancho in the first half. But I thought he recovered from that well. And I think it's important to remember with Cedric what he is. Like, he's not a player we're thinking about as a first-team player. He's played so much football because Tomiyasu's had a really serious injury, or 2 injuries back-to-back. And I think by and large, he's done pretty well. And I'm not someone who loved the signing, but I think a backup right back, I think he's performed at the level you would hope for and expect from your backup right back. And I don't see this game as drastically different. I think something happens when a big incident occurs and we use it to kind of extrapolate a lot about a player's performance. So Ramsdale plays a pass to McTominay. Cedric boots one behind for a corner when he's got more time on the ball. And I think they stick in the mind and they inform the perception. But watching it cold, as I did, I didn't think he was that bad. That's just my take. Centre-half Ben White. I'll deal with centre-halves together, actually, just for time as well. The whole defensive unit is not as solid as it was. I think Ben White and Gabriel have missed Tomiyasu and Tierney. I think Gabriel will be really disappointed with the Ronaldo goal, the first one. Switches off. White didn't make any egregious errors, but I don't think he looks quite as sharp as he did. But I also think they're getting less protection. I think the nature of the football we play, in the second half of the season, we are a more attacking team. We're doing less sitting back and protecting the back four, being compact. We're a bit more open, we're a bit more stretched, and we're seeing a little bit of that vulnerability in the centre halves. I still am a massive believer in both Ben White and Gabriel. I think they are top-class players, or will be top-class players. So, no big concern from me. Has Gabriel looked a little bit shakier of late? Yeah. Is that because he's getting less sleep because he's got a newborn kid? Is he just experiencing a dip in form? Is it to do with the players that are missing around him? Could be a combination of all those things. But I don't forget quickly what a rock he was in the first half of the season. And I think he is still that player. He will be that player again. Left back, Nuno. Oh, I can only laugh. I mean, there's something for everyone with this guy. I think the defensive errors, because we've won a couple of games, and particularly because we beat United, I think maybe the errors aren't quite getting the attention they deserve. I think there may be more egregious errors than a Ramsdale or a Gabriel is making, because they sort of come from nothing. He's like a mine that could go off at any time. At the same time, I'm full of admiration for his athleticism, his attacking instincts. I still think if you really want to protect him and protect the team, the best way is to play him as a wing-back, kind of as we did against Chelsea for long periods of the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see that formation again, maybe away from home, maybe a third centre-half just to balance it out. Let's see. I'm fascinated to see what happens when Tomiyasu comes back. Maybe Tomiyasu coming back will be the best thing for Tavares, because he'll tuck in almost as a third centre-half and Tavares can push on and get him out of the areas where he does us more harm than good and get him into the areas where he can be very dangerous. In midfield, Mohamed El-Neni, I thought, was solid against Chelsea, was good against Man U. More progressive on the ball. His energy levels are fantastic. Because he's playing a double pivot, he has more license to get up the field and to press. I think he's doing really well. I think it was astute management to see we needed experience, we needed solidity, we needed stability. And I think he'll be in the team till the end of the season. Because I don't, despite what you might see on social media, some videos of him on a treadmill and stuff like that, I don't think Thomas Partey, he's certainly not ahead of schedule. And I think his chances of making it back before the end of the season remain slim. Granit Xhaka, couldn't have been more pleased for him. I thought it was interesting that people were like, oh, he blew a kiss to the crowd. I doubt very much that was just to the crowd after he scored. I think that was probably very much to his family who were in attendance. I think the relationship with the crowd kind of is what it is at this point. But he was very good. He has been very good. Getting back in the central midfield has been key, but not as key, I'm going to say, as getting Martin Odegaard back into attacking areas into the final third. I think that moving Xhaka to left back, okay, it had its problems. But one of the biggest issues with it was that the knock-on effect was that Odegaard was getting drawn deeper or playing deeper, almost in a double pivot at times or in a midfield three. And what we lost there was the connection between Odegaard and Saka. And if you look at everything good we did in the United game, pretty much Odegaard and Saka were involved. If you think about the penalty we win, comes from interplay between those two, and a forward pass from El-Neni, I'll point it out before that. I've got a paper cut, by the way. It was one of the worst paper cuts I've ever had. Anyway, I've got a little hole in my finger. We'll move on. Xhaka's goal comes after a move involving Odegaard and Saka down the right-hand side, cleared out, and then he wins it. Bang, Xhaka knocks it in. They are the hub creatively of the team. Proximity is key. Keep those guys close together. Why do we see Saka so much more than we see Smith Rowe? Because Odegaard plays next to Saka. He's got his mate there helping him out. And if we get that left-sided number 8, eventually, well, then we might see more of Smith Rowe. But, yeah, introducing the double pivot, maybe even more so than the 4-3-3, giving Odegaard that licence to be further ahead, to be forward. And now suddenly we're scoring goals. I don't think that's coincidence. That's just my take on it. Well, Saka, fantastic. Scored the penalty. Better penalty this time than against Chelsea, I thought. Dangerous throughout. Dangerous whatever happens. Dangerous even when you kick him and he's on the floor. Arsenal's most important player, possibly. the star of this team, leading even at that age. Fantastic. Smith Rowe, a bit more quiet, like I say. I'm not sure the combination play was there to the same extent on that side. Was replaced by Martinelli in the second half, who I think offered a bit more defensive intensity. And then Eddie Nketiah, who no one's really talked about him after the game, but I thought he had a really good game. You know, he scored a goal that was fractionally offside. He should have scored another one. The finish against De Gea wasn't great. Smashed it, could have placed it, should have scored. So he's, you know, inches away from walking away from this game with a brace. I thought he was dangerous. I thought he worked hard. I think he offered an option in the channels, which is new for this team. Obviously, we've seen Lacazette in the centre circle. Nketiah will come and do that, maybe not as well. But what he will also do is offer you in the channels. And Lacazette, he doesn't do that. He doesn't leave the central part of the pitch, really. So I like that about Nketiah. Lacazette coming back to fitness. I don't think he gets his place back for the West Ham game. I think it will be Eddie again. Let's wait and see. Next, Martinelli coming on. Oh, Tomiyasu comes on. That's one of the big stories of the day. Could he be fit for West Ham? I think it could be massive if he is. I know they're missing a few centre-halves, but they are still dangerous on set pieces. His height would be good. Big improvement on Cedric in that respect. And what would he do at left-back then? I don't know. We'll have to see. Could Cedric play left-back? Will it be Nuno again? Will it be wing-backs? Don't know. But everything feels a bit better after these 2 wins. I still think long way to go. Twists and turns. The derby's going to be massive. That could decide it. But hey, things look a bit better now. Good long video this, 12 minutes. Well, I don't know if you made it this far. Like I said, more on me on the Arscast Extra. A piece on the Athletic tomorrow about what El Nenny's been bringing to the team. I'll speak to you all soon. Sunday, I imagine. Bye.